Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, December 12th, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Thursday, everyone. Before we get to the charts, I do want you to visit pivotboss.com/flash sale. It is our holiday flash sale with deep discounts here on these holiday deals. Take a look here at pivotboss.com/flash sale. You have till the end of the month to take advantage of these deals. You can scroll down the page here and see my book here, 42% off, the deepest discount ever. We also have Swing Trade Pro 2.0, our most complete single trading course and our most successful and popular course of all time. Swing Trade Pro 2.0, 20% off here. You can take advantage of that deal. And PivotBoss Masters. This is our most complete training of all time with proprietary indicators, signals, ongoing training at no additional cost, and a ton of on-demand core training and proprietary training as well. Lifetime membership at no additional cost here. That also 20% off. Again, you can go back to pivotboss.com/flash sale to take advantage of these deals. But hurry, because these deals only last till the end of the month. All right, let's take a look here at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, PPI, core PPI data, and initial jobless claims all out prior to the RTH open here. An initial bump to the downside, at least initially, as PPI data month over month coming in a little hotter than expected, 0.4% versus a 0.2% estimate. Initial jobless claims coming in at 242K versus a 221K estimate, and then core PPI month over month coming in line with expectations, 0.2% versus a 0.2% forecast. And the initial reaction was for a little bit of a bump up and drop right away, which is the opposite reaction of what we saw in the previous session on CPI data, where we had a little bit of a drop and then a big time rally to the upside. Still overall, we are in range still. This is to begin the month of December, and the ES is still within a developing narrow range. This is 9 days strong right now on a developing compression basis, and this market continues to hold at or near all-time highs, still within the uptrending structure. And while today might see a little bit of morning weakness here, this market continues to hold within this range with an upward bias, and the expectation would still be for a melt-up phase into the end of the month. As I've mentioned before, if we continue to see a little bit of a pullback, that could provide a buying opportunity for a melt-up phase into the end of the month. So still overall holding at these highs, building additional energy by way of a compression over the last 9 days. That 9-day compression could lead to a solid breakout opportunity. If we quantify that range right here, 9 days like this, we get a 75-point total range. We've only seen 75 points of total range this month, the month of December here for the ES. That is 46% of average range on a 9-day basis right now, and we could be looking at something closer to 190 points over the following 9 days, especially with the Fed due next week. So again, compressing here, building energy. Any pullback could still be a buying opportunity, but stuck within the range as of right now. In terms of an intraday opportunity here, keep an eye on the levels we're testing at this moment, 60.75 to 60.80. That's kind of the breakout point from the high 2 days ago to yesterday's midpoint. A pullback into that zone is where bulls want to keep bid for a melt up into the end of the day and perhaps a bullish finish. Looking at the NQ, the NQ right now down nearly 0.5%. This one also pulling back modestly here on PPI data and initial jobless claims. Similarly to the ES, any pullback to the breakout point from Tuesday's market, which is that Tuesday high, to yesterday's midpoint, that could provide an opportunity for bulls to defend into morning weakness for a shot at pushing this thing higher And overall, this market continues to lead to the upside. Tech, and especially big tech, leading to the upside. New all-time highs for many big tech stocks, and we're seeing this thing continue to work its way higher overall. So we could be looking at a further melt-up phase into the end of the year for the NQ. Again, the early pullback could be defended by bulls for a check mark move higher today. Looking at crude oil is about flat right now. Big time push to the upside in the previous session. Last Friday in our trading room, we mentioned that Sunday evening would be a buy opportunity into Monday for a push higher towards 70 this week, at least from a short-term perspective, and it completed that move here on a Wednesday. Today, Thursday, we're just kind of hanging in there at the moment with a narrow range. Just 37 total points of 37 cents of total range here. Rather, that's the percentage. 37% of ADR. We're at 62 cents of range. If I bring this back to 1 day here, it'll actually show it here. 62 cents, 37% of ADR right now. Very, very compressed. Again, this market has been mostly compressing here within this range right there. A lot of built up energy. As I've mentioned before, we're coming into the very end of the bearish seasonal pattern here, and the last couple of weeks of December can tend to be bullish. We've already kind of seen quite the move here this week. Is that the beginning of what could be more strength into the end of the year? Do we need one more pullback? We'll see, but right now very bullish here in the near term, and overall looking for a push higher into the end of the year, followed by a seasonal rally that tends to work its way into the first week of March. So that's what we're looking for out of crude oil right now. Narrow range here at the highs, digesting the previous 3-day move. Could be mostly range bound with an upward bias for crude oil. Looking at gold futures, this one has had a tremendous move over the last 3 to 4 sessions. A big time breakout from this compression. We mentioned before that this compression had at least 120 points of energy built into it from the breakout day low. That would put us at 2770 as an upside target. The 2772 level is the previous month's high. That's still the target to the upside. The goal was for any pullback this morning to be defended for a continuation to the upside, and ideally the bounce would occur off the 2740 level. 2740 plus 35 to 40 points would take you into 75 to 80, but we've kind of gone a little bit below that right now. We've hit 2730 on the low of the day on a deeper than expected pullback. Again, this flow is still bullish to the upside. A pullback this morning, if it can recover 40, could provide a bit more strength here, but at the moment showing a bit of a bearish intraday directional bias as of right now. Lower highs, lower lows. Has to recover the 3740 level in order for bulls to kind of reclaim some of that directional conviction. Overall, even if today is kind of a pullback day, we could be looking at any pullback here being a buying opportunity for a completion of our 2772 target. Looking at the YM, this one is just below the break-even point on the day, but continues to show a very bearish overall trend over the last 5 sessions. I noted this here before, that we are seeing lower highs and lower lows day over day. We're seeing late day selling pressure every single day this over the last 5 sessions. But today, can we find a way to reject the previous session's lows? We can find a way to reject those lows. Can we get a bullish move that takes us back to the previous session's midpoint and perhaps becomes a low range outside day to the upside? The Dow has severely lagged the NQ and even the ES here lately, and you know, if we can find an early low, perhaps it can find a way to play catch up here. On an intraday basis, we have ourselves a nice little intraday rounded bottom. It's trying to recover the previous session's low. If it can really get going here back above the 44,200 level, it starts to open up a return back to the previous session's midpoint. which is just above 44,300, and then a shot to go outside day up in the best case scenario for bulls. So can today be the day where it shakes off late day selling pressure and breaks the downtrend? That's something we'll be watching for here in the YM. Bitcoin down about 0.5% right now. Big squeeze in the previous session. A bullish G-squat day, holding the gains here in overnight and pre-market trading. Still trending up. Still building energy for a continuation to the upside. Still anticipating new highs up ahead. One thing is very clear, though. This market has had trouble getting through that rejection day midpoint. The rejection day midpoint here is 101,968. 101,968, and while it's pushed through that level 3-4 times over the last 5 days, it hasn't really been able to push well through that level, because once you find acceptance back through the midpoint of this tail event day, you start to open up new highs beyond the top of the tail there. So at some point here, keeping an eye on that level, getting back through the 101 or 102 level could open up some upside that takes us higher into our next upside target above 113,745. Looking at ETH. ETH here has been strong as well. The previous session, great bounce back day. Great bounce back since the flash low. That was a big time flash drop here. That flash low came in at the 34.98 half level, and since then it's rallied back toward the 4,000 level, hitting 4,000 just minutes ago. 4,000, of course, has been a big time area of resistance for this market all year long. You can see how it's behaved at that level, but still in a very aggressive uptrend as of right now. And as I mentioned before here, 3,400 very, very important. Any pullback to 3,400 or into that zone could still provide a buying opportunity through 4,000 and into 4,600 above. If you fail at 3,400, that's what starts to break this trend and returns price back to 2,800. So got to stay above 3,400 here, but we could see further back and forth in this market structure. And as soon as we're able to take 4,000 bid, 4,600 and 5,200 could be ahead for ETH. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Please be sure to visit pivotboss.com/flash sale to take advantage of these holiday deals. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.